Hey everybody, we are here today with our February archetype lesson. I studied the lover. So if you may or may not know, I'm doing a self-study through the year of 12 different feminine archetypes. Last month I studied the healer. Last month as in January. I'm running a little behind on February. So January I studied the healer. February I studied the lover, and March I think is the wild woman. So I wanted to jump on here and kind of go over with you guys, like I did last month, a little bit of the journal that I'm doing. I've got little journals for every month, and just kind of doing different studies each month on different feminine archetypes. So the month of February, the feminine archetype was the lover. The animal that kind of correlates the spirit animal that kind of correlates with the lover is the peacock. Very showy, very, very proud. So you'll see peacocks throughout here. But basically, I just kind of did my own little study, different articles online about the lover archetype, different, just put in different things about the lover archetype in this journal. And I'm on here today to do a middle collage spread, but I just kind of wanted to flip through and show you kind of the different things that I've come across. Exercises for awakening the lover. One of the things was run your hand slowly over a textured object. And I put this piece of like a velvet trim. So I'll put that in there just to kind of, go along with the exercises for awakening the lover. Take a bubble bath. Wear sparkly jewelry, just kind of different things like that. Just a little bits and bots about the lover. And of course, my journals, I've got blank spaces in them. I've got blank spaces in my healer journal in case I come up with something. I've still got a few things that I want to add into here. These are different articles that I've come across. And to me, writing things down kind of helps me remember things. And so I've just kind of copied a lot of articles throughout these. Here's some characteristics of the lover. I got a lot of blank pages in this, but that's okay. Like I said, this is our middle spread. We'll do a collage here. I'll just pull all this stuff out. And carrying on, these are some strengths of the lover, some weaknesses of the lover. A quote and another article that I've written. I haven't written, but I've copied. Examples of lover archetype in mythology, literature, popular culture, and real life. The one I most connected with was Baby from Dirty Dancing. But you've got Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind, Juliet from Romeo and Juliet, Belle from Twilight series, Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City, Allie in the Notebook, and Rose in the Titanic were two that I was, familiar with as well. So here's a little bit about the peacock, known for going the extra mile to create passion and romance. And so at the end of this is how did I embrace my lover self this month? One of the things that I did, which when I initially signed up for it, was thinking, oh, this would be great for love and lover and all that. This was a local theater had a play this month about how Black mothers say, I love you. And I thought, oh, okay, that'd be great for I love, love and all that. But actually, it probably would have worked better for the month I'm doing the mother. But we're still going to go with it. So I've got to make a little blip about that. So I embraced my lover self. I'll write about that. I'll personal journal about that. I'll add this probably there and write a little bit about that. And another thing that I also did, I'm doing the soul collage workshop with a local artist here, and we're meeting once a month. We met in January, we met in February. In January, I did a healer card. In February, I did a lover card. They're going to have peacocks in the mix. So This is a copy of the card that I did. And so I'll put that in here somewhere and write about it. So, wanted to jump on here today and just kind of work on this middle collage here. I've got some random pieces. I ended up with a whole bunch of peacock pieces for some reason, but I really like this one. February's got to go in there. There's some more peacock stuff. And I've got some stickers. They're mostly like Valentine stickers, but, you know, they've been working out pretty okay in here. So, been okay. They've been okay. I have a Lover tarot card. I have a set of anatomical tarot cards. And, excuse me. Not that I use as my normal deck, but I've broken it apart and I'm using it throughout my crafts. So we have this that we can work with. I need some background stuff, I know. I say that, I might not need to. I'm going to trim this down a little bit more. And you'll hear my laundry in the background. It's laundry day. It's Sunday, the 2nd of March, I believe. And I'm playing catch up on a lot of things this weekend. I've been busy this week. I did some house sitting and all that. And so I was kind of off my groove. So I'm playing catch up today on a couple of different challenges I've been working on and things like that. So and I've got these little bits. These I think are from Cindy at Studio Lou. She does a Journal With Me kit each month. And so I think those are where that's from. This is also a bit of hers that I might use that heart in. Maybe. I don't know. Let's get out some color. Some background color. And we could use this. It's kind of big and gaudy, but you know. Sometimes love and being the lover and all that is a little bit gaudy, so that's okay. That's okay, right? So let's see. So yeah, one of the bits that I wanted to do in this journal, I did it in the healer journal. I wrote about who do I know personally that emanates or that I think of when I think of this archetype. You know, like, so the healer, a friend of mine, I did put a little picture of her in here and wrote about when I met her and all that for the last month. This month I have been, this sounds so crazy, I've been racking my brains trying to think of who I think about when I think about the lover archetype. You know, who do I know? And honestly, I keep coming up with myself. I think this is probably, you know, I've done a little bit of reading on the archetypes, you know, and that's what prompted me to kind of study them. And it's like, who do I know? And to me, it's me. I feel like I most relate to this. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do a page about myself and why I feel like I relate to that. I haven't decided on that. But I can't think of anybody else that I know that relates to this feminine archetype. And so I've been kind of torn back and forth about it. It's like, well, can I do a post about myself? You know, a post. Can I do a page about myself? I mean, there's nothing that says I can't. This is my journal. And if this is the archetype that most relates to me, then why not? You know, I mean, why not? I want to stick this here, but I don't know that my glue stick is going to hold it. So I'm going to have to break out the weld bond. And of course, this, I was back and forth about this when I was at my soul collage class, creating that lover card. And the lover feminine archetype is not the lover card in tarot. They're not the same thing per se. They're just not. And I kept kind of mixing and mingling, and it's like, no, I'm not doing tarot here. I'm doing archetype, and so this is different, Shell, you know. And I had to kind of keep reminding myself that, you know, we're doing something else here. So this is a little snippet that I have that says the lover. It's very light. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just going to stick that on there. Because why not? I don't know about these. I like them, I just can't, they're so big. I guess I probably could have. Cut them down or printed them out a lot smaller, but maybe we'll just cut it off like this and trim off the lock. That way we can add it in here somewhere. So I'm having fun with this, you know, I really enjoyed last month, the healer, and I kept, you know, kept it at my forefront as to the healer archetype. And then this month for February, I did the same thing. And it was like, of course, it was a lot easier because February is the month of love and, you know, Valentine's and all that. And so it was easy to keep it at the forefront. But it was fun. I'm really enjoying this. I'm glad I decided to tackle this study lesson. It's, you know, kind of a personal study lesson, but I'm glad I'm tackling it. Each month I had planned a book for the month that I was going to read that correlated with the archetype. For February, the one I had was not really correlated with the lover, but it correlated with kind of the start of the year. And I got to reading it the first of the month, and I was like, I've read this before. It felt so familiar. And I am horrible at remembering books. Once I read it, it's in and it's out. You know, it's like, okay, we read that and carrying on. And so I just kept reading this book, and I got like into chapter 2 or 3, and I was like, gosh, this sounds so familiar. So I pulled up my Goodreads, and I was like, yep, I'd read it. I'd read it back in 2022. And so that kind of threw me off for my whole book for February. I mean, I read plenty of books this month, but my main one that I had planned to read to kind of correlate with the archetype. So I was like, okay, well, that threw all that off. And so I've just been kind of, I don't have a book of the month, I guess, for February, because that one that I had picked out, I'd already read it. And so I just kind of have been fumbling around since then, just trying to find a good correlating book, but couldn't find one. So, which is okay. It's okay. I've read a book, just not one that really correlated with the lover archetype. I don't think. No. None of the books I read kind of would go into this archetype. I like this love returns, because I kind of think about in that saying love returns, kind of think about, okay, tap back into your lover self, you know, return to what the lover archetype is, and you know, that's kind of what I think about when I think of love returns. So I'm gonna put that there. And then I've got this little quote. Your love is a strong force. It lightens that which presumes to weigh you down. I'm gonna tear this one out. Oh, that's the downfalls of tearing. You might tear what you're working on. That's okay. That's okay. We'll work with it. We don't have the collage police after us checking these out. This is just my own doings for my own stuff. Okay, so there you have it. I'm pretty pleased with that. Pretty simple. Let's see if we got some stickers we can add to it. These I found on super duper clearance because it was Valentine's. These I had in my stash. So let's see if anything. Love with all your heart. We can work with that. Somewhere. It's probably not the best place for it, but that's okay. And let's see what else we got. Okay. These are like relationship loves. And that's not, to me, that's not what the lover is, if that makes any sense. Because it's not necessarily a relationship, always a relationship love. But you can love your family, you can love your friends. I mean, you can tap into your lover self to show love for different people and different relationships and all that. So you can tap into your lover self to show love to yourself, which I think is very important. Self-love, very important. Okay. I think we'll leave that there for that. Yep. And I think I want to, I guess I need to put this soul collage piece somewhere. I think maybe I'll just put it right there. And I'm okay if it takes up the whole page, because kind of it is what it is. I mean, I'll journal on this bottom part of it as to what this picture is in this journal. My actual card is with my other soul collage cards. I haven't yet decided how to share that with you guys on YouTube. The whole soul collage thing. You can Google it. It's a, you know, it's a trademarked program, and I'm doing it like I said, I did last month, and the local lady here is doing it a class of 4. I've got 2 more classes, March and April, to do the classes. And I think it's done after that. If she offers more classes, I will absolutely do it because I'm absolutely loving this. So, like I said, I haven't quite figured out how to share it with you guys. It is kind of personal. But, you know, I think art can be very personal and be shared, if that makes sense. So I'll journal a little bit about the soul collage class down here. And so that'll be that part of it. And then back here, of course, I've got a journal there. And then I want to put a little blurb about this. And again, I hate that this didn't come into town. It would have been better suited for the Mother Month. But I was tapping into my lover self for this. I was like, we're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. And I'll journal a little bit about this as well. Of course, in my and then we'll start on our next month. March is Wild Woman, I think. I'm kind of excited about that for some reason. I don't know why I'm so excited about it. Maybe that's the one I'm going to relate to most. Who knows? And if I decide to do a page about me, as in that's the person I know that I relate to this archetype the most, I'm going to have to find a good picture. A good picture that speaks of lover, the lover archetype, you know. That may be tricky. That may be interesting. And I think I have another little blurb about this play that I'll leave for down there. If not, I'll find something else to go down there. But so yeah, and of course here's the articles that I printed off the internet and wrote in here. So I have them. So, and again, I did a little bit of played with a little bit of watercolor wherever it is, you know, on this quote. And so yeah, I'm having fun with these. This was just a picture out of a book or magazine. It reminded me of Romeo and Juliet. I don't know that that's what the article was talking about, but that's certainly what it reminded me of. So thanks for joining me on this. Again, I'll be back next month with March's archetype. I encourage everybody to just kind of read a little bit about the different archetypes and, you know, see which one you correlate with most. I really feel like out of the 2 that I've done some study on, the healer and the lover, out of those 2, I feel like I'm most connected to the lover. So I'll be interested to see how that changes as I continue to study more, you know, the more the archetypes throughout the year. So thanks for joining me. I will see you guys next month with these kind of studies. I hope you enjoy them. Feel free to give me some comments on your thoughts about the different archetypes and or even the lover archetype. And I'll see you guys next month. Bye for now.